Hey, ladies, and good evening. Now, I want to welcome you to another self love conversation. You know, all month we've been talking about human trafficking and the importance of you being able to be aware and know what's out there and how to protect yourself. And the woman that I'm going to talk to this evening is no stranger to us. She came to visit us before when we were talking about how to be safe out there as women. Her name is Miss Sandra Cleveland. Miss Sandra, thank you for being here again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. She's a phenomenal speaker. She's a trainer of sex trafficking, intimate partner abuse, sexual exploitation, and is dedicated to security awareness from internet, social media, violence, prevention against women, men, children, school, and corporations. Now, I just got to say, if you saw the last interview, you saw how bad this sister is because she broke down some tips on how we can actually protect ourselves to making sure that we are aware of our surroundings and what we could do as women. So, Ms. Cleveland, thank you for coming back. We are more aware now, now that we have been doing a lot with survivors. We actually talked to some, and
Mhm.
we really got enlightened. We really got enlightened about their stories and how the life that they've been living, you know?
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, how are you?
Uh, I am quite busy. I was speaking to a group of college students from Florida a few moments ago, and before that was two other organizations. So I'm quite busy and loving it because the more I get the knowledge out there, the better I feel about things. And this has just been gratefulness.
Now, Miss Cleveland, I have to say something. My first question is, and I've been saying this for the last couple of interviews we have done, I did not know that human trafficking was a $1 billion business, first of all. And I did not know that it comes in all forms. I think the last time we talked, we were only worried about white trucks and making sure if somebody's following you, what to do.
Hmm.
We did
Hmm.
not know that we have families involved,
Hmm.
kids involved,
Hmm.
all of
Hmm.
these things. Like, if you just can kind of explain, how did it evolve to that point? Like, to the point where we spoke with one person who said there's kids in school recruiting girls and they're in high school.
Yes, and I mean that's one of the stories that I gave you last time. I even here in the state of South Carolina, we have had girls that recruit other girls who are in high school and have them over the weekend, saying that they're staying with friends and family, and moms and dad nowadays don't check, so they're ending up in a hotel, a well-known hotel, that they are trafficking themselves out of those rooms. And it is, like I said the last time I talked about this, is that they stayed all weekend long, and on that Monday I had a documentary crew with me, and they got on the school bus that was just straight across the street from the hotel and went to school.
Wow. Now,
Mhm.
Miss Cleveland, the other thing is that how do you expect to live a normal life and allow your kids to do stuff where all of this is happening? That is a scary thing to know that if my child want to have a sleepover, now as a parent, I have to be able to, second guess that and maybe stop them from hanging out with their friends because I don't know if this might turn into something else. How would a parent know, what to do? Or is it, like what, how would they know?
It's like anything else. You have to vet people. Parents need to vet these people. And sometimes you can't vet them enough because they're showing you one thing, and behind closed doors is a whole nother story. I tell parents right now, if you have children that are of age to be on social media, don't allow an instant message to your child become your instant nightmare.
Wow. Wow.
Parents have to know what's going on with your children as well, especially now during the pandemic of COVID. Everybody's working from home. Everybody is in front of their own screen right now. So
Right.
you have to make sure that you know what your child is watching and where they are, most particular, because now that parents are home, they're like, get out the house. I don't want to hear you. I got a meeting today, going in the house. That's what recently happened 3 months ago when a girl went missing. Mom told her to go on out the house. Well, whoever the instant messenger was, he told her, well, when you can get away, just come outside for a few minutes. Let me talk to you. A few minutes, she's gone for 4 days.
Let me tell you why that makes me so angry. Because I can remember um, a picture going around online where they said it was all these missing girls. I don't know if you saw it.
It was in DC. DC,
That's right. That's
everybody
right.
was
It sure
up in
was.
arms. I'm going to DC. I'm going to see where these girls are. I'm going to find, you know what? I listened to everybody who was out there saying they're taking buses, they're going to about a bus load, going through neighborhoods. Please, you can't go through a neighborhood. DC is not like here in South Carolina. You're not
Right.
going to be able to go through neighborhoods and find these girls.
Right.
So, everybody was mad at the moment, but I always say we become so numb to the action of girls missing now. So we just look at the picture and maybe we'll share it on. Maybe. But we in the Black community has just come numb to our girls missing.
Well,
And
that was
that
my
is,
point because we are living in a time where, at least during my generation, when girls go missing, oh, she's trying to be fast, or she's probably
girl,
with a
if you
boyfriend.
come back at that again,
I'm
you
telling you,
know,
and it's and she'll be home soon. Where
yeah.
we have like the little young the girl who went to jail because she was sex trafficked and they didn't know what it was. Latonia, someone, I forgot her name.
Satoya,
Yeah,
Satoya
Latoya.
Brown.
That's right.
She and I will be on another episode together. Yes, Santoya.
And and now when I think about that picture, I say to myself, I'm like, damn, all of them girls that are missing could
Mm-hmm.
potentially be sex trafficked and out here, and we don't even know. We are just looking at this as, oh, there's some more missing girls. What
Well,
do they
Gloria,
do?
let me tell you this. I just really need to stop you while we have an audience here.
Yeah,
We are our own worst critic.
that's right.
We are our own worst. We want to sit there. We're almost like the old days of the church. Girl, you need to pull your skirt down. You don't, oh, you pregnant. Don't come back in this church. You better go on this place. No, we look at and we I should say talk about these young girls and not reach out to them and ask them what's going on. My first sex trafficking victim walked into my office with something on that was inappropriate. But by the time I spoke with her, I didn't judge her. I asked her a question. Why did you think that it was okay for you to come in dressed that way?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw her eyes start welling up with tears, and I said, no, 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 don't cry. I just need to ask you that question. And she went on to tell me that a guy tricked her into coming here, that he emancipated her from where she was from, of Kansas, brought her here, and told her that he was going to marry her. Then he put her in a hotel, and then he had the maintenance guy of the hotel sell her around the clock while he was in the military here in South Carolina.
Damn.
But everybody want to say, well, she was dressed like, no, she was dressed with what she had to put on, what he bought for her to put on. And I don't care how anyone is dressed, you have no right. You have no right to take ownership and sell anyone.
That's right. That's right. And one of the things that we also learned, which I want you to elaborate on, is the type of young girls and women that these predators go after. When we were speaking to some of these survivors, the number one thing that they said to me was, I was vulnerable. I didn't love myself. I thought that this person loved me. They made me some promises. One
Mhm.
lady, Miss Cleveland, said that I went away with this man. I met his family. I had my kid
Ooh,
because she
girl,
had a kid
you
from
giving it
another,
all
you know,
away.
another
That's
person.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
everything was normal for me. She said, and I finally felt like I found love until I went with him and I found out that everything that he said and was and worked was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have these predators that come and prey on these girls who are vulnerable, who are homeless, who are out there. How do you get a young girl to know in her mind that there is something wrong with what's going on with her when she's either with a predator or if she's being approached by the predator? Because the mindset is so traumatized.
Let me tell you, I'm going to break it to you very easily. How they
Yes,
get
ma'am.
to do that is their grooming process. It's a grooming process to get the girl to trust you. This is why I said it all started with an instant message. It all started with a DM. So they talk to them, they compliment them. They tell them how much they appreciate them talking to them every day. They tell them, I just think that you deserve a gift. Won't you come out and meet me at the playground? I left something for you. They won't show their face because they know that they're too old for them. Then once the girl builds that trust, now I can get her to do almost anything. Now I can get her to say, why don't you sneak out? Oh, I'll have you back in time. So a few of those times they'll have them back on time. They'll make sure that they're on time so that they can build a trust of grooming. At that point in time, they have made sure that someone saw the girl to see how much she's going to go for. He started taking bids right at that time, the first time that she is away and she's in his possession. He then starts the grooming process of giving her things, buying her things. She has built a whole trust. Not only that trust is there, but that love. He said he loved me. More and more of the girls that I hear is saying that no, he loved me. He's not having me doing nothing out here. I'm not trafficking. If you could hear the recordings, because every time that I rescue a girl, I record the session. I record because no one's going to say I said something, but I want to make sure that I get their story out always as well. So she says, well, Miss Cleveland, he loved me. And he said he wouldn't let anybody hurt me. And that was the first time I felt protected. Every time that I said that I needed somebody to talk to, he was there. You get a following here, a notion of what's going on. Parents, they're not always there. When the child needs someone to talk to or ask a question about a situation, nobody else is there but him. So she tells me, she said, so I met with him. He took me around his boys and that he was just telling them, this is my lady. And I just never felt so like somebody wanted me. That's my next problem. Because time and time again, our girls are taken into sex trafficking, and this grooming process are done by people who look like us. So he took you around his friend. What kind of daddy, uncle, cousin, who are you that you see this little girl with this grown ass, excuse my French,
No, you
this
could say
grown
ass.
ass man, and
That's
you're
right.
not saying anything? You're a grown ass man with this girl that no one that that is too young to be with this guy. We have none of our men stepping up to the plate, say, brother, come here for a second. Let me pull you over. How old is that little girl? And you don't question it. So now it becomes acceptable until it's your child, until it's your daughter. And then you want somebody to go kill someone, when all before you allowed this to be in your midst with your boys. You knew the girl was young because she couldn't fit into the conversation. I do not care how mature our girls look. As soon as they open their mouth, you know they're not old enough.
Right.
And it's up to you. These males got to step up. I have never seen a time that I am just so worried about the future of our young girls. We have over 79,000 girls, Black girls, that are missing and unaccounted for. We have one in a whole family of 5 family members that are missing. Nobody is talking about it on the news. I'm just trying to get all the information so I can talk about it. We have girls missing in groups now. They know, the traffickers know, well, I won't take her by herself. I'll tell her, bring a friend. If you're scared to come, bring a friend. I know many of them have seen the articles that came out 3 months ago, where 2 of the girls ran away together and one of them died because she needed heart medication. She thought she was coming back home. Her and her friend thought they were going to meet a guy on the web and they were going to come back home. This little girl was found dead because she didn't get her heart medication. The other 2 little girls that I was able to track down, who mother called me from Charlotte on Facebook, she left with 2 young girls. By the time they got them, they were in a house with men where I think it was 9 guys that lived there. These 2 14-year-olds was so badly sexualized, they both had to be hospitalized for a week and a half. So the grooming process of getting these girls out there, these guys know what they're doing. I just need more men to step up to the plate and not allow it. And, I did see an incident, and a lot of people on Facebook shared it, where some guys recognized that this 14-year-old girl was missing. And this guy walked into the corner store with the girl. And the guy said, like, hey, that nigga got that baby. And the guy is like, well, no, this is my girlfriend. We got a baby together. They're like, no, she ain't. She's missing all over the way. We got posters everywhere. And so they commits to beating this guy up. I don't approve of vigilante style, community style beatings. But when you come in our neighborhood thinking you're about to snatch a child, then I say we got to do what we got to do in order to protect our girls.
I agree with you. But it's still, to me, so scary, because even when if you can ask this question,
and they had a drink that had something else in it, and not only were they sexually exploited in that way, there's a video of him doing what he did that was sold to Pornhub.com. The sexual exploitation is not just happening to our little girls. It's happening to grown women. And most of these guys are doing this because of who we are, because we have a reputation. And they know that if something happens like that to you, you're not going to tell anyone. And the 6 women that I'm talking about who have come to me in the past year, all of them refused to press charges because they didn't want anyone else to know that they did something, which they did nothing. They were preyed upon by these guys who took advantage of them, and something needs to be done. So the sexual exploitation, the sextortion is happening not only to young girls, but military people work in other circumstances, that they are holding them ransom because now they have a video that they have been able to take of them having sex in some kind of position. So I can't educate women enough about being aware of yourself and how to protect yourself when you're going on these dates. I'm going to tell you, and I don't think that this young girl would, she's a young lady right now. She thought that she was going to have a conversation with someone that she thought she could get in the industry with. Very smart, intelligent, head of her class, went to talk to this guy, talking to him about the industry. She said, next thing I know, Officer Cleveland, I knew, I just had a feeling, but I didn't go with my gut feeling. And I knew that I poured this drink, and I had this drink in my hand. When she woke up, she was in a whole different location, and someone had sexually assaulted her.
I tell
She
women all the
has
time,
a
you
big
gotta go for the
reputation.
gut. You gotta go with the gut. It is there for a reason. You know when you feel it, but at the
Yes.
same time, you you would be scared to come out the house because you have to really vet these people who you're with.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
talking with the survivors and listening, I'm like, they are better than most psychologists. They
mhm,
can read you and bounce stuff off of you, make you
mhm,
feel like you're
mhm,
just the best in the world, and then all of a sudden you're trapped in some situation that you don't know how to get out of.
mhm.
So it's like, how do you date? How do you go out there and you let your kids have a good time without feeling like you are so paranoid as a parent? You're paranoid as a single woman, and you're paranoid about this, where
You have to
these
equip
predators are
yourself.
really taking
you
over.
you really have to equip yourself. These smartphones are very smart. We just don't use them to their capability, but they're very smart. And when I teach my classes and talk to women, especially women entrepreneurs who are out there traveling at different locations, but it is not just that you have to look out for. You have to look out for these ladies too. There are
Mm,
women that are setting up women as well.
now, come on now,
Girl, don't
see.
even go through it. We had to bring that one. We had to bring that one to an end because I was
Now,
like, no, you didn't.
I,
No, you
I don't,
didn't.
nah, that I don't understand. What the ladies alluring the ladies in
Yeah,
and saying,
mhm.
come meet my friend.
That's it. That's it.
So you
How
can't
about come
even,
meet my husband?
oh no, go, oh no, 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 no. Oh
I just
no.
want you to meet my husband. It's not that she's trying to set him up with a husband. She's telling her that we're going somewhere to meet my husband, and I need to go meet him, and I need you to come with me, and we'll be back. No, that's not your husband. That's your pimp. And you're bringing someone else into the mix. That was her game. That's how she got her in.
Mm, mm. Now, when we talk about law enforcement, now most of these ladies, like we spoke about before, who do come out, we got rape cases and kids that are 8 months backlog, and we gonna do what we can to go ahead and find who we, dealing with. The law enforcement is trying to educate themselves more on, human trafficking, instead of looking at a young lady saying, she's just a prostitute out here. It was said that they're getting more training to figure out if they're being trafficked. What type of education and how is law enforcement really getting out there to see the difference between someone who is being trafficked and someone who's actually, out there in prostitution? Because it just sounds like it's like a big gap right now. Is that true?
It is. It is a big gap. South Carolina has more money than anyone. South Carolina has the best laws against sex trafficking than most states. Okay. Well, having them and enforcing them is two damn different things. Okay.
Right.
It's two different things. This young girl that I talked to you about, who was a scholar at her school, who went to meet someone, she went to law enforcement to
Mm,
talk about her sexual exploitation. Her and the doctor cried when we heard her say they told her, you need to pick your friends better. There's nothing we can do. She know his name. She can tell you where the incident occurred. high in the HILL hockey sticks that you cannot do something about it. Having the greatest laws in place and no one there to implement them, that's crazy to me. It is
That's more
absolutely
trauma
crazy.
to me. That's more trauma to me because
Exactly.
you say to yourself, nobody's gonna do nothing anyway. So this is the position that I'm in.
That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she said. When she came to me and the doctor called me and she didn't have the a case number, and I said, "Who did you go to?" She went to the same people who say they have the most training. Why didn't somebody do something about it? Why didn't some, it's very hard. It's very hard already for a male to see a woman hurt and know the right thing to say. Gloria, I just can't say that enough. It is very hard for a man to see a woman hurt and they don't know what to say to comfort her. But one thing you're not going to be is saying that you need to go home, you should do better the next time. But you need to get someone there to help her. You need to get someone there to comfort her. You need to reassure her that whatever happened, you're going to get to the bottom of it. Not necessarily telling her that somebody is going to pay and you're going to arrest somebody tonight, but no, you're going to get to the bottom of it. But to tell people that there was nothing done, mothers who call and say, I think my daughter is being sex trafficked. If you don't know the social security number almost of the person who took it, in, they're like, okay, ma'am, well, we'll take the report and you do what you have to do.
How do we get past this? Like,
we got to fix this as a whole community. We talk about law enforcement reforming. We need community reforming because we gave law enforcement powers that they're not supposed to have. In law enforcement, we're supposed to protect and serve. That's all we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to come out because somebody grilling in the backyard and you want me to tell them to stop grilling. We're not supposed to come somewhere where somebody's in the swimming pool and we want them to get out the swimming pool. We have to go back and reform law enforcement into what it is supposed to be. We need to go back and reform communities and tell them how to take back their own community. Because truly, and this is not just the cliche that I have as an organization, that it's on me too. It is on you. I don't have a child in this fight, but I'm fighting this fight every time I can to help someone who have been victimized. Mm-hmm. So time and time again, the education that I go get, I never got educated in South Carolina. I've always had to go to California. I have to go to Miami, somewhere else where the guys are actually out there working with nonprofit organizations and they're not picking and choosing. Even though the nonprofit organization is great, we don't want to work with her because we don't know everything that she knows. Mm. When you can work with the nonprofit organization, they can come out there and be with that victim, let you sit there and take the proper statement that you need, while also consoling this victim to tell her, we're going to help you. Mm. We have too many girls that has the same story, like law enforcement didn't help. My mom couldn't do anything. My mom was mad and glad to see me back. But then when I got back, we find out law enforcement said they're not going to prosecute the guy. Do you know how many times I've heard that?
Plenty.
I have several mothers that can jump on here today and say, that's exactly what they said.
That's right. That is right.
We got to fix it. We got to fix it. I have, a lot of organizations that are partnering with me, from being in Canada, from being in India, Inglewood, California, that we are forming a population in our communities that we can rescue our girls and let them know their true worth and give them the power of their mouth that they can speak out as young people.
Yes, and please tell us about your organization and how people can either get involved and help, because, like I said, we've been doing this for 19 days and I've learned so much, mm-hmm. And it's right under right under my nose, and I would not even know, Officer
And I
Cleveland,
mean,
because
not
I'm
only,
in my own bubble.
yeah, and Gloria, you think that you're in your own bubble. Most of the things that are happening here, the victimization of these children, are family entities. They're right there in the family, and everybody in the family know that Grandpa Johnny does not more than want you to sit on his lap, but still yet you over and over again take your children there to sit on Grand Johnny's lap or whoever, and you know that this is happening. The sex trafficking is happening by people in their own families. So until we all take a stand, sometimes you got to separate from family, especially when you know they're doing wrong. Somebody has to break that cycle that's going on. So, my organization is It's on Me Too. It's on me too. I mean, I don't care if you're just an uncle. I don't care if you're an uncle. If you're a young person and you have been in your school and you've heard me speak about sex trafficking, you as a young person can say something. What's going on? Why do your uncle touch you like that? He's not supposed to kiss you in your mouth. Well, we always done that. No, no, no. No. He's not supposed to do that. By educating our young people as well as our older people and doing something about it. And it's going to take all of us. So we have a campaign going on now that's called It's on Me Too. And it's educate 1 million. Between January 1st to January the 31st, we want to be able to educate 1 million people on sex trafficking. And we want them to take the pledge saying, I, Chandra Cleveland, um, pledge to learn more about sex trafficking because it's on me too to help stop it. That's it. That's plain and simple. Take a picture with your hand and pledging to do more to help and to learn more about sex trafficking so that you can stop it. This is $150 billion industry and still growing.
And the people who
Still
know
growing.
that they are with these young girls, and I just think of the Harvey Weinsteins and all that stuff, where you are with young girls, and you are doing
Exactly.
something inappropriate, but it's like a game to you. It's like a high for you. It's just disgusting, you know.
Hmm. Definitely. I mean, from politicians to pastors to postmen to fathers to uncles to grandfathers. I mean, it is very sickening, very sickening. And for those who sit back and see these young girls in these inappropriate situations and not even open their mouth, with human trafficking, you see something, and I don't care if it's not what you saw. If you saw it, report it. You call the human sex trafficking hotline at 888-737-7888 and report it. It's not up for you to go over and make sure it's sex trafficking. No, it looked like it. You saw them in the restaurant. This little girl barely spoke. She barely made eye contact, and this older man is hugging up on her. You get his tag number, his description of him, and the girl. This is where your smartphone really becomes smart and you use it. Get your cell phone and take a picture of it and report it.
I said, I'm laughing because ever since I've been learning, girl, I've been all in the store looking like, ooh, is this is this a young girl, or should I ask? I've been looking around because I'm saying to myself, in Atlanta is really big. And
Oh,
I've
girl,
been
it is.
so blind for so long, but now that the blinders are off, I'm looking
Yeah.
around like, oh, that girl look a little bit too young. Let me see if I know the signs, right?
Honey, girl, that's it right there. I am also one who goes out and train restaurant workers, because the waitresses have an opportunity to serve these people once they come in a restaurant.
Absolutely.
And a lot of these girls say that, Investigator Cleveland, when I make real good money, he would probably take me to Red Lobster and I'll be in there eating. He won't let me talk to anybody. He tell me not to ask to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, let me go train these restaurant workers. Like, you see a little girl and she look intimidated, and you're talking to her, and then he answers for her, and you're still talking to her, and he's answering for her. You need to go back and take a picture. You need to call somebody and say, I don't know what's going on, but don't let them read about this restaurant today. If
That's
I
right.
have to spill something on her dress or whatever, oops, I'm sorry. Let me get you changed up right quick.
Uh-huh.
Don't let them leave
Well,
without giving a description.
Officer Cleveland, it is always a pleasure. Give us your social media, give us your campaign information again, and what we can do, like, to kind of help, you know.
Well, I mean, we all can do something to help. And I really need everyone to pledge to learn more about human sex trafficking. Um, Also, by taking this pledge, by sharing it with other people in order to take it. Our knowledge is our power. Our knowledge is our gateway when we do something with it. And taking that step to make a pledge, that you pledge to learn more about human sex trafficking, because it's on YouTube. You can go to my Instagram is Investigator Cleveland. My Twitter is Investigator Cleveland. Of course, on Facebook is Investigator Cleveland, and you can mostly go on our website. We have T-shirts, we have pledges, we have everything that's going on our website at www.itsonmetoo. All of it is very simple, just like behind my head here. It's on me too. I think safety. So I just want everybody to be involved, because you never know when this sex trafficking thing is going to come as an instant message in your household and turn your whole household into a nightmare.
Amen. Officer Cleveland, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and you just give us so many nuggets, and I just appreciate it. And the more we learn, the more we can be aware, because remember last time I was telling you about white trucks. Now I know that there's families and
Yeah.
women and all
Hmm.
these people involved. I'm like, damn, I ain't dating nobody online. I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna sit my ass right here, okay?
As you get information out there and
Yeah,
everybody start noticing a white truck, the white truck becomes a red car, the
that's
white truck
right.
becomes a blue car. So the more people get it out there, they change their MO. But you got to stay a step ahead of it and stay informed.
Oh man, Officer Cleveland, thank you so much for being here. And I definitely will try to connect with you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you so much for having me, and you be safe now.
I will. All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye bye.